After over a year of no news directly from Concerned Ape himself about the progress of his next title, Haunted Chocolatier, Concerned Ape has broken his silence and posted an update on his website. It comes as no surprise that there has been a break in Haunted Chocolatier's development. Concerned Ape has been transparent about this as he had been focused on providing Stardew's 1.6 update, not only for PC, but also porting to both console and mobile devices. Not only did one of his last tweets about the game say exactly that, but he also reiterated this idea in an interview that took place earlier this year. And Concerned Ape mentions just that in the start of his new dev blog post. As you may already know, I haven't been able to work on Haunted Chocolatier in a while. This is because I started working on new stuff for the Stardew Valley 1.6 update. He then goes on to explain why this pause in development took longer than expected. The 1.6 update was originally planned to be a technical under-the-hood update to expand Stardew's modding capabilities done by others so that I could focus on Haunted Chocolatier, but then I got involved, adding a little bit of new content to the update, and it kind of snowballed into a pretty substantial amount of new content. And even after 1.6 came out on PC, I have been heavily involved with bug fixing, porting, and more. This has all pulled me away from Haunted Chocolatier development. If you've played Stardew at all after the 1.6 update, then you know this to be true firsthand. There's tons of endgame content added, like more pet options, the raccoon family, skill mastery, a new farm type, a new festival, just to name a few. But like he mentioned, he had not anticipated the update to grow so large. In April of 2023, he tweeted, "There is going to be a Stardew Valley 1.6 update. It's mostly changes for modders, which will make it easier and more powerful to mod. But there is also new game content, albeit much less than 1.5. I'm taking a break from Haunted Chocolatier to work on this at the moment, then back to HC." And it seems like he's finally had the time to get back to it, but not without some guilt. His last tweet about Haunted Chocolatier was a few months later in October 2023. Concerned Ape explains, "It's been a little sad to see Haunted Chocolatier getting dusty on the shelf, but this is the reality of my situation. Stardew Valley is a big and popular game, and I have a lot of attachment to it. I also feel a strong sense of duty and obligation to all the people who have bought Stardew Valley over the years, granting me this rare opportunity to be an indie game developer. So it's hard to let go of Stardew, even temporarily, to work on something that isn't already established and meaningful to people. Stardew Valley undoubtedly is a leader in the farming simulation space, almost 9 years after its release, and it is still at the top of its game, so to speak. I do think these updates like 1.6 continue to breathe life into the game, and I would never complain about a free update, but I do hope Concerned Ape isn't being too hard on himself. It's evident. I mean, just go check the Haunted Chocolatier subreddit. People are excited and already are invested in this game." With that being said, Concerned Ape continues, "However, I also have a strong desire to make more games. I like making games, and I have a lot more that I want to share with Haunted Chocolatier and beyond. And even though Haunted Chocolatier has only been revealed publicly to a tiny degree in my own private world, it's a special place, and I'm very attached to the characters, themes, and ideas. Also, I've already done a ton of work on the game. Before I took this break for Stardew 1.6, I had created a vertical slice of Haunted Chocolatier, essentially a skeleton of the game with most, not all, of its bones in place. I'm going to interject here because I do want to draw a parallel to Stardew. The first version of Stardew Valley was quite bare-boned compared to the version of the game we know today. If you comb through some of Concerned Ape's old dev blogs during the time before release, it's clear he did have a vision. However, at the time of development, he was unemployed and without a paycheck, so it's understandable a less fleshed out version of the game, so to speak, was published. Since that's not the case with Haunted Chocolatier, after the wild success of Stardew, I think it will be interesting to see exactly how fleshed out Haunted Chocolatier 1.0 will be, especially given how passionate Concerned Ape seems to be with the game. I know I'm excited. To expand on his development, he goes on to state, "My next task will be to tweak the existing bones until I'm happy with them. Add all the rest of the bones and then flesh it out with all the content that will need to be in the game. Yes, it's going to be a lot of work still, but it's okay. I'm addicted to the grind." And I think this self-proclaimed addiction is evident. I mean, with how many copies Stardew Valley sold, not to mention all the merch, books, board game, and concert sales, for him to still spend countless hours coding is really a testament to his passion. Concerned Ape then gets a little technical and says, "As I've mentioned before on this website, Haunted Chocolatier is being developed in the same way as Stardew Valley was. I'm coding it mostly from scratch in C#, and I'm working solo in all areas. Why? It's what I'm comfortable with, it's what I enjoy, and it worked well for Stardew Valley. I may get help with some technical things later on, but I want the game to be essentially complete before I think about anything like that. Hey, I say, if it's not broke, don't fix it, okay?" He goes on to explain, "I know many people are excited to play Haunted Chocolatier and may be disappointed to hear that it will still take a while, or that I took time away to work on Stardew Valley. I understand. I will be very happy when the day comes that I can finally release Haunted Chocolatier. However, as with Stardew Valley, I will not be doing any early access, crowdfunding, or pre-orders, so don't feel a ton of external pressure to finish the game on a timeline. The major source of external pressure is the fact I announced the game kind of early. I have my reasons for doing this, which built up excitement, meaning that if I take a long time, people might become sad, and that is a real pressure to me. But ultimately, I will not release a game unless it is complete, and I am very happy with it, and I think that's what most people would want anyway." Again, it's not as if he's saying anything we hadn't already heard. He's been clear he's only going to publish Haunted Chocolatier once he himself is happy with the game, but I can't help but speculate about the admittance of announcing quite early. If you remember a game called Witchbrook, or at least the promise of a game, it's not fully developed yet after countless years. But back when it was announced, it was around the time Concerned Ape was still associated with Chucklefish, the company who helped publish Stardew in 2016. While Concerned Ape and Chucklefish had started to part ways before the announcement of Witchbrook, Chucklefish did have involvement with Stardew Valley up until the end of 2021, close to the announcement of Haunted Chocolatier. Now, during this time, many people saw Witchbrook and thought it was another game being developed by Concerned Ape. He had to set the record straight many times. Witchbrook was not his game. While this just could be a mere coincidence, it is kind of a suspiciously timed one. Anyway, back to the blog post. Concerned Ape states, "As development continues, I may want to post about it and share things with you, but if I don't post for a while, it doesn't mean I have abandoned the game. Sometimes I feel like sharing things, and sometimes I don't. My preferred approach is to disappear and work in isolation and only emerge when I have something complete and worthy, rather than share a bunch of stuff that is unfinished, and therefore not in accordance with the final vision. But I know people are interested in the development of the game, so I will post some things. Regardless of dev blog timing, know that the game will eventually be finished and come out." Again, I don't think this is much of a surprise. As Stardew Valley grew in both content and popularity, Concerned Ape moved away from posting longer dev vlogs and instead sprinkled information throughout his Twitter/X account. I did say earlier, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. I think that applies here as well. And I think because of how much Concerned Ape has gone above and beyond for Stardew, has really made it easy for those playing his game to really trust him. I mean, let's compare that to the game I mentioned earlier, Witchbrook. They announced early and Chucklefish has delivered games in the past, but no one is confident that Witchbrook will ever see the light of day. To close out his post, Concerned Ape wraps up with, "I think I've written a lot of this same stuff in previous posts, but I just wanted to check in with all of you, let you know that Haunted Chocolatier is still going to be a thing, and reaffirm some of the stuff I've said before. Thank you for reading all this, and I look forward to sharing this new world with you when it's ready. All screenshots thoughts are work in progress and likely to change before release. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for the future of Haunted Chocolatier, and I couldn't even imagine feeling any sort of way about having to wait for the game because Concernedape has already given us so much with Stardew, all for the price of $15 if you bought it full price. And he's doing it all by himself. With that, thank you so much for watching. Stick around for similar videos in the future. Bye!